Hey there and welcome back. I'm Jena Vargas and I'm super excited where we're going to be talking about why lifelong learning is super duper important, okay? So we're going to dive in and kind of just go from a high level about what you can do to really be a lifelong learner, as well as some other great resources and my story. So here we go. We should probably have some music to kind of dive in. All right, so as you know, it's super important, especially during the season of lifelong learning, where the job market is even more competitive than it was prior to 2020. I know through lifelong learning, whether that's in the classroom or your own independent learning, you can truly grow and be super successful and become a top performer. All right, so here are some great ways to continue learning. You may already have tried some of these, and others you may not have. So they may be within or outside of your current industry to really provide that competitive advantage. So think of things like courses, seminars, books, Audibles, podcasts, interviews. Check out some blogs. You may even consider a graduate course, certification, or a full-blown program. It's totally up to you. You're in the driver's seat, okay? So a little backstory about myself. Growing up, I loved helping others and making money by working hard. I never really loved sitting in classes back in high school. I felt like it was a total waste of time. I'm sure you could relate with me on some of those classes, right? But now looking back as a parent, I know that some of those classes are really fundamentals to learn and prepare for the real world, a few of them. And I noticed that more as I was taking college classes and kind of getting into my groove of what I was really into. My parents encouraged and motivated me to at least get a bachelor's degree, so I agreed. And at graduation, I was pregnant and with our firstborn son, Javen. So after giving birth, I started realizing how much education has been one of my top priorities, hence why it's on my top 5, I think it's number 4, on the Clifton Strength Finders. I want to teach my children that you can dream big, work hard, and continue to educate and learn from others who've been down the path that you're looking to go. So for some people that might be in the classroom and online, other people might be through Audibles and interviews and doing their own hard research. So fast forward to the present day, and God willing, I'll be completing my doctorate program in HR management within the next 6 months. So that is a big goal and achievement that I'm super pumped about. And thinking back, I never really enjoyed the process in my late teens and going through that process, probably because I wasn't super interested in the topics. I can tell you firsthand, if you can bring more value and better service to your clients and employers, you'll open doors for yourself and opportunities you never realized were even possible. Today I was reading in Forbes on an article from back in February 2020, just a few months back, just prior to the pandemic here. There's an analysis of responses from more than 250,000 US adults conducted by Gallup. There was no difference in the likelihood of respondents saying they learn or do something interesting each day across high school dropouts, high school graduates, associate degree holders, and bachelor degree holders. The only group that was statistically more likely to say they were a lifelong learner were those with postgraduate education. Another Gallup research arguably is most profound and influential of all, an innate talent and strengths-based development, which is one of my top scores for Gallup Clifton, makes a strong case that some humans were born with quote-unquote learner talents. Within the article, it also stated that employers can no longer assume that sprinkling a little bit of compliance training and some occasional professional development or some, let's say, sporadic technical reskilling will turn their human capital into lifelong learners. There's a direct connection or a disconnect, right? It will require them to transform everything from how hours are spent during the workday to how continual learning and education will be financed. What every CEO will soon realize is that business transformation requires human capital transformation. And once that realization sinks in, we will all become lifelong learners, whether we like it or not. So it's not up to them telling us when it's time. It's up to us to make that decision, okay? So we can decide today to continue becoming and blossoming as lifelong learners. And I'd encourage and challenge you to do the same within your given focus area as a thought leader. I'd love for you to comment below with what you're actively doing to really pursue lifelong learning and what's on your future to be learned list. I'd love to hear from you. and I'll be back tomorrow. And remember, readers are leaders. Whoop, whoop.